special story, very special story, will stay forever. But yeah, now the situation is obviously completely different. I cannot really and don't want to compare with Brandon's team and Dean Smith's team. So they are in a relegation battle. It's obvious. I saw after this meeting, we have to analyze. After this press conference, we have to analyze meeting. But I saw the game against Everton, for example. Really good spells in the game. It's a really good footballing team. Yeah, but how we all always were and will be in a relegation battle, you are not always the best version of yourself. So that's why it makes it so difficult. Yeah? So it makes it so difficult to be there. But what we have to expect is a team who wants to stay in the league and will fight for that with all they have. That's what we have to expect. I told that the boys already at the start of our training week. And I said, okay, this is now the real fight, and we have to make sure that we are ready for that, because home game for Leicester, and the game after us is, I think, Newcastle, if I'm right. So that's not an easy game as well, and they need all the points they can get. So I expect a super difficult and super intense game, to be honest. So big fight, and with brilliant footballers on the pitch still. So and that makes it tricky.
Just with players coming back for yourself, Bobby and Naby, any chance they'll be involved this weekend?
No. We're not in team training yet. I saw Bobby yesterday training. He looks like pretty much nearly there, but I don't think he will be in for the weekend. If he's now when I go out here and he will be in the session, I would be surprised. But I assume that we start with him team training wise after the Leicester game, and Naby no.
We've spoken a bit of the last few weeks about laying foundations to move forward, given the run that you're on at the minute as well. And we've also spoken about supplementing the squad with signings in the summer as well. But I think you're of the view, correct me if I'm wrong, that players don't want to join when you haven't got Champions League football. Then you would question whether they are right for the club. So where are you at in terms of finding the players with the right attitude, and how confident are you of landing your number one targets, whether you got Champions League or not?
Well, it's not about that. It's when I talk to a player, and if I'm allowed to talk to a player, which is fairly the case, to be honest. But in the moment when you are, then when you talk, then you realize then that he, in his eye, but then it's already clarified, because we cannot tell anybody in the moment that we will be definitely in Champions League next year. So if he's talking to us, then it's probably already clear that he knows about that situation. But it's just a general thing. I think if you join a club, it's not what you want to reach something together with the club and not serving on the wave the club created before. So it's one thing, but of course it's obvious that we have to fight for being part of the Champions League and have to fight for trophies and these kind of things. And if you want to be part of that, then you're more than welcome. It says only one thing which we cannot guarantee this year, and this is Champions League football. But all the rest is the same like it was before. It's a fantastic club with a really, really good football team, and an even better one probably. Hopefully next year. So that's it, and that's not so difficult. I've barely faced the situation that you are in a talk with a player and everything sounds great, and he says, "Okay, now see you if." So that happens not really often. Still Liverpool. So, and that means it will be really attractive for a lot of players, and should not forget that. And that's why I'm not concerned about that fact. Of course, everything is more difficult without Champions League. That's how it is, especially in the long term. So we should not do these kind of things more often. But apart from that, it's absolutely okay, the situation we are in from a talking point of view and from a convincing point of view.
I just wondered what you feel the main reason for the turnaround in results has been for Liverpool. Is it a particular game or incident that sparked this run of form and good results?
We spoke about that quite frequently. About that, we tried to give ourselves the chance for a fresh start with a lot of different things. Maybe the different football things. Had kind of a new start. We agreed on that in the week can't remember which week it was exactly, but we had 8-9 days for training between the games, and we wanted to use that time to start the new season already, not knowing where it will lead us to, but just didn't want to waste more time, and it was a breath of fresh air for all of us, not only the players but for the coaches as well. And since then things changed. We work on different subjects. The basic principles stay. It's about intensity. It's about counter pressing. It's about generally intensive football, these kind of things, but we want to control the game differently. We want to protect our game differently in different formation. We want to build up differently. So there's so many things we are different, and it's really, to be honest, it's really good fun for us. So to think about it, to work on it, to create something new for us, and that's what we did. And then the results came in. That's for sure no complete coincidence, but we know that we needed luck in moments as well. Luck we maybe didn't have in other games before, but now we are in the situation we are in, and now we have 3 more games to play, and it's still the same. We already prepare the next season, but knowing that this season is a lot to play for, and that's exactly what we do. So sometimes you need to change big things to get a turnaround. Most of the time it's only little things, but sometimes you have to change big things. And I think after when the coach is in for 7.5 years, that's pretty rare. And usually in that time, some clubs have 3, 4, 5 coaches, which is obviously not great, but then that means it's always new. Well, we were really successful until last year with a specific way. It's not that we did always the same stuff, but it was a way of play which we knew about, that it's successful and works out for us. And all of a sudden it didn't work out for us anymore. It was always clear that we have to change things, but that was at least one good thing of this season, that there were the good reason to change things. Imagine we would have changed everything after we won nearly 4 trophies in the start of the new season, and then we play bad. That would have been really tricky. And that's why sometimes you need these kind of moments, and we needed it, obviously, and change it. How I said, when the coach is in that long, you have to change things anyway, and in the right moment. And that's why I said I think we caught the right moment, maybe for this season a bit late. We will see that, but in general, I think it was the right moment.
Another 30-goal season for Mo Salah. Because there's a player with 50 goals this season in the Premier League, is there a danger that his achievement is in fact in danger of being overlooked?
No, not from us, not from the Liverpool supporters, maybe from you. I don't know. Because this question is now not the first time that I hear it. Means not from us. And I say a lot of times will be an all-time great after he finished his career, but now he's still in his career. And if you see Mo every day, there's still a good few years in his legs and in his body, so the numbers will even improve, and that's absolutely great. No, we don't overlook it, but I can imagine if the question is asked that often that you might be guilty to overlook it. I don't know.